joining us, our next guest joining the show is Stephon Gilmore. He's currently in his 11th NFL season, first year with the Colts. He was selected in the first round of the 2012 NFL Draft by the Buffalo Bills. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, and he was voted twice first-team All-Pro. He's a Super Bowl champion, and last but not least, in 2019, he was voted the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, only given to the second cornerback, the first one being Charles Woodson in 2009. So, Gil, I appreciate it, bro. That was a long list of accomplishments. I could probably keep going, but that was for the short term. But I appreciate you doing this, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah. So I feel like I know you, but we never really had a chance to like sit down in the same room or play together because we were at the same agency with Sports Stars. Mm-hmm. But and I know you probably answered this question before, and I want to ask it one more time. Clearly, you had 5 years with the Buffalo Bills. You spent 4 years with New England, where you won a Super Bowl, and then you were traded to the Panthers, and you had another great year, and now you're a free agent. You know, How did you? And I'm sure you had many suitors that wanted your service. Like, what was it about the Colts that you said, you know what, this is a good fit for me as my career extends?
This time around, my first time in free agency, I kind of hopped off the board. And this time around, my second time, I had a lot of suitors, but, I kind of wanted to take my time, towards the end of my career, and put myself in a great position, to win. So when I seen they got Matty Ice, that was a turning point too. And then to see where they came from last year too, they was right there last year. And I think, with them adding Matty Ice and Yannick and someone like myself, I could put them over top. So, and I came on a visit here, some people don't usually do that, but I came on a visit and seeing the people that I'm working with, and they welcomed me. So I was, it was an easy decision once I came on a visit.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Listen, Indy has that culture that is, once they get you in the building, it's going to be hard to leave out of there and not sign as long as the money's right. But so let me switch gears to the defense. Gus Bradley, your defensive coordinator, and he had a ton of success with the Legion of Boom back in Seattle many years ago. Is there anything that you have learned throughout the season that you necessarily didn't know in training camp that you guys are doing really well right now? Because you guys are playing really well on defense. And I've never played for Gus Bradley. I know people who played for him, and your defense were, before last game, you guys were top of the league in rush defense, great on third down, great in total yards. You guys are playing really well right now. Is there anything that stands out to you that you guys are doing really well right now that you necessarily didn't do well or didn't anticipate playing that well before the season began?
I think going into, like training camp and all that, you got your core plays in, but as you get into the season, it's not really training camp, it's kind of game planning, and the calls are different. It's not training camp calls. So I think a lot of guys think, Gus run a certain system, but, it's different. It's not what you think, looking from the outside in. So I just think it's just us, gelling together each and every weekend and knowing what type of players we got, and Gus putting us in the position to make plays and knowing what our strength is. So I just think we just, gelling together and we just getting better. So I think we just got to keep that up.
Yeah. How's that transition been for you? Clearly it's starting to reap its benefits, because you hit a great point. It's very hard to go from one scheme to another and pick up where you left off in terms of production. Again, it was a great win last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a division opponent. The week prior, Thursday night, you made 2 heck of a game-changing plays, an elite level play that people have grown to become accustomed to from you. Do you feel like right now you're finally sinking your teeth in this defense and you understand communication with guys playing around you? Because you guys have had some injuries. Shaq Leonard has been out. Kwity Paye was out. So you guys have played better than anticipated, in my opinion, with guys in and out of the lineups. Do you think right now you're finally sinking your teeth into what you guys do well and you're becoming more comfortable within the scheme?
Yeah, I think we are. I think for myself, I think I'm getting more comfortable, from the first week, just knowing where your help at, knowing who you can trust on each
Right.
play, and it just that gelling on the back end, it take time,
That's big.
and
That's
yeah,
big.
I just think it's just, it's going to just take us playing games, and getting better. And
Right.
I just think we all coming together and we all figuring out how each player want to play this position.
Right.
And I'm just looking forward to this year, and these upcoming games. We got a big game next week, against Tennessee. They got us the first time, so it's going to be
Mhm.
a big challenge for us to go out there and ultimately like take over the division. That's the goal.
Yeah, how do you guys maintain that defensively? Like how do you keep building on the success you guys have right now? Because one guy that comes to mind, speaking of, a key cog, which I'm probably sure probably had some, you know, deciding factor on whether or not this was a good defense was Shaq Leonard. He's been in
Hmm.
and out of the lineup, and Zahir Franklin's been playing damn good football.
Hmm.
How has he been in his addition to stepping into and filling in for the absence of a guy like Shaq Leonard?
Yeah, Zaire, man, he stepped up big this year. He's one of those guys that you love on your team. He brings that energy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he come in the training room like, loud.
Right. On
So
10.
yeah,
Right, right.
so like, you need a guy like that, and he been making plays, he been flying around, and Shaq
Yeah.
been out, dealing with his stuff. So
Hmm.
we know when he come back, he's a playmaker in itself,
Yeah,
so
right. Right. It's a great problem to have. It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
great
for
problem to
sure.
have when a guy that comes in experienced and he's outplaying what anyone would have thought, his level of play would be. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So let me ask you, man, let me ask you a personal question about your position itself. Because I played
Hmm.
with some really good DBs. Um, the first one was Sheldon Brown. I know you know Sheldon, right?
Yeah, no, Sheldon. Yep, yep,
I
that's my
played with
guy.
Shell towards the end of his career. And one thing I noticed about Shell, man, he was always in phase, right? Always in
Hmm.
phase. He understood formations, he understood splits of receivers, and he just needed somebody behind him that he could trust. And then you go
Exactly.
to Joe Hayden, who just retired, 12 years in the
Hmm.
league.
Hmm.
Vontae Davis, who I played with. And I didn't play the position, but I understood all the other 10 guys on the field. But I know when I bring up those three guys, their competitive level in practice, like what we saw in the game, they did it during practice. And that's the one thing I can say about all three of those guys. They were so competitive, in terms of recognition, in terms of just competing
Hmm.
first and foremost, but they had depth to it. They understood the route concept. They understood splits and all that. Like, what is it about Gil that just separates you from everybody else? If you don't mind indulging me, bro.
I just think, like you say, preparation. As you
Mhm.
get older, you get smarter. You practice a certain type of way. You compete in practice.
Right.
I think the game's slowed down for me so much. I feel like the offenses, they run the same stuff. And you just take,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
you pick up on it, and it's like, man, are they really about to run this? It's like playing like, I don't know, a video game or something. It's like, you just
Right.
out there just having fun. And then when you put your technique on it, if you're a technician like myself, it make it even easier. So I think it's a little bit of everything, technique, film
Mhm.
study. And I think just, making plays at the end of the day. That's what
Yeah.
it's come
When
down
did that
to.
moment? When did that moment happen for you? I know for me it was like, I want to say probably year 3, year 4. Once I
Hmm.
understood, it became about not just doing your job. I know my
Yeah.
assignment. What's my job? It started there, and
Hmm.
then it just kept growing and growing. To your point, film study. You start self-scouting, self-evaluating yourself, and
Hmm.
then you just keep building off of that. But a lot of guys don't get it, Gil. I know you know it, but like
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
know.
guys
Yeah.
don't get it. It's like if you watch the film and understand offenses and particularly receivers, pass catchers in general will align to get the job done. So the splits matter. And
For
body
sure.
language. When did
Hmm.
that moment happen for you where you was like, okay, you're already good. You were 10th overall pick. You're already solid
Hmm.
out the gate. When did you have that moment where you could feel my game is going to another level?
I think probably year 4 or 5. 4 or 5, it changed for me because I think when I first got in the league, I was very athletic, fast, could cover anybody. But I
Right.
always made it hard on myself. Like
Right.
I could cover and make the play, but it always looked hard. So I think year 4 or 5, it's year
I
4 or 5,
feel
year 4 or 5, it's more like, okay, like I don't got to do all that. I can just, play with poise, study and make the play, and I think when I got to New England, it was kind of magnified a little bit more because, we was winning. And
right.
we was playing in big games, and you make those plays in those big moments.
Yeah, that's money game, man.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
get
money game.
magnified. So I think year 4 or 5 for sure.
Okay, that's good. That's good, man. So when you decided, there's so much, man. I appreciate you giving me that energy there, because man, I've always wondered. I've always been curious about how. There's a lot of parity throughout the league, but what separates the good from the great? And I think I know I know what that takes from a linebacker because I played it for a long time. But
Yeah.
from a DB standpoint, you're on that island, man. Like that's a difficult job. It's hard to compete and be in phase and have all these pre-snap reads, and then a guy catches the ball, and because you know what, it was a perfect throw and even better catch. How have you been able to play as long as you have, as successful as you have, and just not be unfazed no matter what happens throughout the course of the game?
I just think I just love those moments. It does something to me to just line up out there and the ball coming to you.
Right.
It's just you and him, and you playing.
Y'all don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke. That's too much. I need some milk over top. That ain't my life, bro. Y'all built different, bro. Y'all built different, man. I can't. That ain't my life, bro. Anytime I was put in a quad situation and a speed guy was at number 3, I'm like this, Bill. Hey, you helping me, bro?
Yeah, you looking at the safety.
Yeah, y'all better come on with it, bro.
I just love it, man. I the older, now I'm older, I love it even more. It's like,
right,
man, it just does something to me to be in those moments and make plays in those moments. It's very exciting.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
And you're still making plays at elite level, man. How's your body feel right now? I know you're getting into, the middle part of the thickness of that, the schedule. The first 4 weeks go by. It's all, everybody's excited, everybody's revved up, and now it's you got to kick into that next gear. How's your body feel, and how have you been able to maintain your health throughout your career?
My body feels great. I feel this is the best I've felt in probably 2 years, 2.5 years, because I had surgery on my quad in 2020, and I missed basically the whole season, and came back and played for the Panthers. But I feel great. The training staff here has helped me out a lot, as far as taking care of my body.
Yeah, I know EB very well.
Yeah, EB, man. Yeah, he taking care of me, man. He, reps and practice and all that. I'm a guy that like to practice, but when you get older, you gotta kind of be smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So they've been looking out for me a lot, and as far as the weight room, lifting, getting stronger more.
Yeah,
it's been good.
Yeah, was that new to you? Because that was new to me when I left Cleveland in 8 years, and you didn't miss practice. You didn't get a vet day. I don't care how much work you put in. No, you were going to practice. And when I got to Indy, EB was the first one to kind of, just Chuck Pagano was my head coach. He was like, hey, on Wednesdays, we want to back it off a little bit. I'm like, what you mean? What? I need to be out there. I'm the same way. I want to practice. And I fought it. I fought it, bro. And for the first 3 weeks, they're like, no, we're going to try this schedule. If you don't like it, then we can revisit it. And when I tell you, when I got to Sunday, I felt like I was juiced up even more. I bought in, bro. So was that a difference for you to just like, okay, because as a player, you're going through, are they trying to take me off the field? What's going on here? What's the angle behind this? But they actually, that's why when you play it with the Colts, they actually have a plan, and it benefits the players. What was that? I know you, what was that like for you to know, you know what, I can, be managed properly?
Yeah, that was big because, obviously coming from New England, it's kind of like what you was talking about in Cleveland. It's just, competing to the ground. It's competitive every day. It's like
That's
You
a
know, I'm
perfect
just
way of it. That's a perfect analogy to it for it, bro.
yeah. So it's like, you know, you can hear him like, man, and I like that. I like practicing like
Yeah.
that. It's just when you get older, it's like, you know, the body get beat up on Sundays. You want to get to the next Sunday and feel great. And I
Right.
think
Right.
they giving me an opportunity to feel that way. So I'm very appreciative for that because,
Yeah.
you know, it goes a long way for sure.
But no, I 1,000% agree because most teams don't do that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
most teams aren't doing that. So you guys have a great win last week. You guys have got a 2-game winning streak going right now. You had a heck of a play on Thursday night, which I don't know why anybody would target you in those big moments, which you just talked about. You thrive for those moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you got a big game coming up. You know, another Tennessee Titans. You guys, everything, despite all the injuries, despite an offense only scoring before last week 5 offensive touchdowns in 6 games. Now I'm transitioning to something else. How have you guys been able to keep your composure in terms of a defense and not let that affect what you guys set out to do, you know, week in and week out, and win those games defensively, quite arguably, within the division?
I just think as a team, it's one of those. I think we have a team where we don't really point fingers. You know, it's kind of like, let's find a way to win. You know,
Right.
we feel like our offense is going to come along, and I think they did last game. They helped us out a lot,
Yeah,
you
no
know,
doubt.
because it's back and forth. Because I think we're going to, you know, have to find ways to win. You know, it may not be how you want it each and every week. Just find that way. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're doing a good job of that for these last 2 weeks. And I think we're going to have to continue that to be where we want to be. And I think Tennessee, you know, it's a big opportunity for us. You know, they're a physical football team. You know they're going to run the ball, so it's going to be, you know, all 11 hats to the ball. That's what it's going to take to win this game.
No doubt, no doubt. And I think that goes unnoticed sometimes when people just assume stopping the run is just with the D line and linebackers. No, it takes all 11. It takes all 11.
Plays to all that. Yeah.
Right. When you stack that
Yeah.
box, then if you got a corner, and this is what you've always done well,
Mm-hmm.
as good as you are in the passing game, you're not afraid to get dirty. You're not afraid to play close to that line of scrimmage. And when you have corners that's willing to throw their bodies around, I mean, that's the makings of a great run defense. I know you guys had some issues last week. You guys probably going to get it corrected. Can you talk a little bit about how important? Because when you talk about DBs, everyone's talking about the glory stuff. But what, you know, is it, you know, how important is it for DBs to get involved into like nub side runs and just knowing your gaps when you're forced, you know, you're forced to make a business decision or to put your hat in there and say, you know what, this is my game.
It's very, you know, it's important for the corner to be able to step up and make those plays because, you know, nowadays that's what teams want to do. They want to crack and, you know, get on the edge and let the corner make the tackle. They don't want to run into a linebacker, you know, every play. So I think it's you know, it's very important in today's game. That's what teams starting to do. So I think we got guys on the back end that's not afraid to do that. And you know, we got to go in this game, you know, stopping the run, but we got to stop the pass too, because you know they game plan too. So we can't just worry about that. We got to worry about everything and come together as a team.
Yeah. No, I get that, bro. I get that. And if you like what you've heard so far, please go follow and subscribe to Athletes Unplugged. You can find us on all major social media platforms and go follow this man here, Stephon Gilmore, on IG at Bump and Run Gilmore. Gil, I can't thank you enough, bro. I just got one other question before I get you up out of here. You know, what do you guys need to do in order to get over to win against a division opponent and keep that win streak going against the Tennessee Titans?
I just think we just got to have a good week of preparation, you know, and go into the game like, you know, just do everything the right way, you know, play hard, you know, everyone gonna make mistakes, but try to make less mistakes and, you know, get them to turn the ball over. That's going to be our goal. Get the ball off of them, make them, you know, get behind the sticks, make them throw the ball on third down and long. You know, that's going to be our goal going into this week. So, and I think we take that formula, you know, we will be good.
Yeah, I like it. You heard it. You heard it right here. Hey, Gil, thank you for your time and perspective, bro. Hey, good luck the rest of the season. Stay healthy. And listen, I'm watching from afar. And Pursley told me to tell you what's up too, bro.
Oh, yeah. Tell him I said what's up.
All right. I appreciate it, Gil.
Appreciate you, bro. Yep.
Yep.